As we moved through that dimensional wall into the second heaven, I found myself in an entirely different world, far different from anything I had ever imagined. This world was a place occupied by spirit beings as vast in number as the sands of the seashore. These beings were demons, or fallen angels, and were in thousands of different shapes and forms. Even those in similar shapes and forms were contrasted by diverse coloring. Many of the demons were in human shapes or forms, and many were in forms similar to animals, familiar to our present world. Others were in shapes and forms too hideous to imagine. Some of the forms were so morbid and revolting that I was almost to the point of nausea. When I first arrived in the second heaven, I knew immediately in what direction I must go to reach the third heaven where God was. I don't know how I knew that, but I did. I also knew that if I was going to get my prayer answered, I was going to have to appear before God the Father in the third heaven. I was aware that I was traveling in the spirit world under the protection of the Holy Spirit, and that the angels who were escorting me were also moving under the protection of the Holy Spirit. It might seem strange to you, the reader, that the angels needed the protection of the Holy Spirit, but remember where we were, the second heaven. The second heaven is the place where Satan presently has his throne located. Satan is not yet in hell, although hell is to be his final destiny. All the spirits in that world were aware of our presence and were aware of the Holy Spirit's protection over us. To give you an idea as to why that protection was necessary, let me give a Bible reference to the power of Satan as demonstrated in the second heaven. The 10th chapter of the book of Daniel tells about God sending one of his angels to deliver a message to Daniel. Because of the importance of that message, Satan did not want it delivered. In order for that angel sent from God in the third heaven to reach Daniel, he had to pass through the second heaven. Satan sent one of his princes, or one of his archangels, to stop the angel. The angel had to fight and could not get through alone, so he had to call for reinforcements. God had to send one of his princes, or the archangel, to help the messenger, and even this took 21 days. After the angel delivered the message, he reminded Daniel that he, the angel, would have to fight his way back through the second heaven. As we moved about there in that world, I was greatly disappointed that my escort did not take me in the direction of the third heaven where God was. Instead, we moved in the opposite direction. As we moved from place to place in that world, I learned many things about demons.